Hey, what's going on? This is Mr. Traham. This is the second part to the video with rounding whole numbers using the number line. In the place value chart, I rounded this number to the nearest thousand and the 100,000. And in the previous video for number line, I rounded to the nearest thousand. Now I'm going to round the same number to the nearest 100,000 on the number line, just to show you that the process is the same. All right. So I'm rounding 182,356 to the nearest 100,000. Step one, I want to set up the number line correctly. Draw a number line. I go all the way down, and I draw the endpoints on the end. Right? To set it up correctly means to think about what spot you are rounding to, the 100,000s place, right? The current 100,000 that you're at goes on the left, and the next 100,000 goes on the right. So if I have 100,000, right, 182,356. Well, 1 is my current 100,000, right? So the current one that I'm going to put on the left is 100,000. The next 100,000 is 200,000. This makes sense because my actual number is between 100,000 and 200,000. My actual number is 182,356, right? So I set my number line up correctly because the current 100,000, which is 100,000, is on the left, and the next 100,000, 200,000 is on the right. Boom. Step one is good. I set up the number line. Step two, find the midpoint. The midpoint is the middle point, halfway between these two 100,000s. So if this is 100,000 and that's the next 100,000, halfway between that is 50,000. So if this is 100,000 and that's 200,000, the midpoint must be 150,000. Step two is now complete. I have found the midpoint. Now, step three, I'm going to locate the actual number on this number line and then just simply round it, right? My actual number is 182,356. This is 100,000. This is 150,000. So that means 182,000 is probably somewhere up in there. 182,356. Right? And now you can see that 182,356 is past the midpoint. It's past this, right? And if you're asking yourself, well, what is the nearest 100,000? Well, clearly, my nearest 100,000 is 200,000. So it would round up to 200,000. All right? That would be the answer. Now, it makes sense because if I'm rounding to the nearest 100,000 in regular place value, I would have rounded the 1 and I would have had it circled and I would have underlined the 8. And the rules around it says if the number behind it is 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, then it would have stayed the same. If it's 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, then it goes up one more. Add one more. Because this is 8, you can clearly see it's getting closer to that next 100,000 on the number line as well. So the place value chart and the number line is very similar to each other when it comes to rounding. Again, this is Mr. Traham. This is a quick follow-up lesson on this same number being round to the 100,000s, but using a number line. Peace.